In last session, we have talked about the theory of responsive design, all these things, right? Fluid grid layouts, flexible images and media, content prioritization, viewport meta tag, mobile first design, testing and debugging. All these things we have discussed in last session. Now, in this session, let's implement it. Let's implement it. So here new folder, and here I can say day 27, and let me create first index.html, index01.html, app01.css. So HTML5 and basic which demo? Media queries. Media queries demo. Link rel css app01.css. Media queries. What is the media query? CSS3 media queries are the fundamental part of responsive web design. They allow you to apply CSS3 rules based on the characteristics of the user device, such as screen width, height, orientation, and more. They allow you to apply the CSS rules based on characteristics of the user's devices, such as screen width, height, orientation, and more. Media queries enable you to create the designs that adapt to the different screen sizes and devices, providing the optimal user experience. So here, if you see basic syntax of media queries. So media queries are written using @media rule in CSS. The basic syntax is as follows: @media, media type, media feature. So media type, media feature. So what is the media type? Here you write the media type. This specifies the type of media, such as screen, print, all, speech, etc. This specifies type of media such as screen, print, all, speech, etc. Most commonly, you will use screen for style sheet. Style sheets intended screens. Media feature. This defines condition under which CSS rules inside the media query should be applied. You'll get to know this thing, right? So let's have example. So let me go over here. @media screen, and here we can say and @media screen and max. Here you will write CSS property max width, max width @media screen and max width colon 600 pixel. If this is 600 pixel, right? If this is 600 pixel, then this would be applied. Let's see background color. So here we can create dot bg. See now. So without media query, first light bg. and background color I can say brown. But when max width is 600 pixel, background color becomes cadet blue. So HTML body width 100 VW, height 100 VH. Homework. I got to know homework. So I will stop this thing over here related to the media queries. Now in the CSS3, let me go here, dimension units, and here I can say so you need to tell me new H3, new relative units. So this is related to the responsiveness, remember that. So you would be telling me a meaning of this thing tomorrow. SVH, LVH, DVH, SVW, LVW, DVW, and there are many others are also S min, D min, like that. Then VI, SVI, LVI, DVI, VB, SVB, LVB, DVB. So you will tell me meaning of this thing tomorrow. I have written it in the dimension units, new relative units. So very similar to the VW, these things, viewport units, these are the viewport units only. These are what? Viewport units only, but new things these are. So you will tell me what is the meaning of this. This is a homework for you tomorrow. Got it? Yeah, so I have mentioned all these things. Now let me go to the responsive design, media queries, and we have reached to this point. Okay. Now, so these are the fundamental things, nothing new over here, nothing new over here. Only line new for you is this. At media screen and max width 600 pixel. At media screen and max width 600 PA. So let us see what happens. So let's go over here. Section class BG. Okay. Dot box width 50%. Height 50%. Correct? Height 50%. And this is a box. Okay. Let me open this. A reveal in Finder. See here, a brown color we have, correct? Max width. So here, just go to the, go on reducing the width. Can you see? Whenever your width becomes max width, can you tell me what is a max width? If you go here and look at the CSS, max width 600 pixel. Means if width is less than 600 pixel or 600 pixel, color would be cadet blue. Width is what? Less than 600 pixel or 600 pixel, it would be cadet blue. Otherwise, it would be brown. Can you see? And this thing is called as breakpoint. Next point to, if you see here, breakpoint. A responsive web design often uses specific breakpoints which are predefined screen widths, where the layout or styling of the website should be changed to accommodate the changes. Getting my point?
Yes.
A breakpoint. So you have given this breakpoint. So let's write few more breakpoints. So let's write few more breakpoint. And this breakpoint for, sorry, it's CSS, mobile device. Generally, you may change it these pixels. Then for tablets, let's write for tablets. You might need to search on the internet exactly. Just a minute. So for tablets, I'm not sure about the width. So here we can write something like this also, at media, screen, and min width. See now, min width 610 pixel, 610 px, and can you see again, and max width 1024 pixel. So instead of pixel you can use anything. So here I can say copy. Let's change the color, chocolate. Okay. Now for the desktop screens, at media screen, and minimum width 1025 px. Then background color would be charter use. Chart reuse. Okay. Now go here, refresh it. This is a 600px 1024, which means that things are working. Chart reuse, you can see min width 1025 pixel, 1025. You may increase it. Min width, if you can see 1025, then chart use. If minimum width is 1025, then chart width. If max width over here is, now there is a cap over here. If 601, between 601 pixel and 1024, so width 601 pixel. See, this color, chocolate color, is getting applied to anything now till the color is same. And what you can say, for mobile screens, color is cadet blue. So we have studied a simple property by changing the color. You can write any of the CSS styles inside this. See here, default one is BG brown. Now what you can see here, it is showing you the chart reuse color for the reason the minimum width, this condition is getting met. Any questions on this? Hello? No. This is clear, right?
Yeah, so basically we are like having some class, but based on some conditions, we are like modifying the things.
Correct. Correct. So you can write any condition. That's what we have.
Like, okay, so it's mentioning it.
See here.
We add like other things also.
Commonly used media features. Width, min width. So do not forget this thing. This is the media type and media features. Media type. Here you write media type screen and media feature. So these are the commonly used media features: width, min width. So you can consider this as width. These are commonly, you can use anything, width, max width. But remember that whenever you talk about the media queries, they allow you to apply the CSS rule based characteristics for user device that depends on the user device, such as screen width, height, orientation, and more. You getting my point? Hello? Media queries. Now let's write, let me push this much code. CSS3 media queries. I have pushed the code. New index02.html and new app02.css, HTML5 and media queries. Part 2, link rel CSS, and this one, app02.css. Now, I consider that you are developing mobile app, and can you see here, you can switch the device. Consider that this is your mobile, portrait and landscape, portrait and landscape. Now what I wanted to do, I want to write a code just a minute. So how do you write this media query? Can you tell me? So if user is changing the orientation, certain things of CSS need to be changed. How do you do that? Now my concern is that, so here I have h1, here I have h1, here I have h1. So I'm asking you question. So if it is a portrait, it should show me mobile portrait, or it should show me mobile landscape. But these two shouldn't be shown at a time. How do you do that?
We can like use orientation properties and
Correct. Orientation property you will use. I got it. But how do you work with this? Because if I run the code right now, both the things would be shown on the screen.
that I'm like not able to understand, but yeah, we can adjust the properties, but not sure like how we can show only one thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Just think and tell me.
Based on condition,
How do you write conditions in the CSS?
media is conditional, right? In that case.
Yeah, media queries are conditional. Correct.
So we can add like suppose example, we can have class one for H1 and class two for like the second H.
So you write if condition in the CSS, not in the HTML.
Yeah, CSS only I'm talking. So media query where like we'll write in CSS, right? Then we can add that min max thing.
Okay. But how if you write min and max, that is okay. But these h1 are available in the HTML. So whenever HTML would be getting rendered, these two things would be rendered automatically. How? Okay, let's write at least media queries first. Now see, I am going to ask these such questions randomly, and you have learned this thing, that's why I'm asking you. Okay, so these things are common. Box we don't need. So instead of writing this directly, section and the section. So in media queries, at media, screen, and max width 767 px. You will get these dimensions on the internet. 76 px. And orientation orientation landscape. Okay, now this is the landscape. What to write in the landscape, please let me know. At media screen, think and tell me. Till I am writing the code, please let me know. Max width, I'm expecting one CSS property from you. 480 pixel. And here we can say, and orientation. This can be done in a two ways. Portrait. Portrait. Now what to do? Now tell me what to do with that h1. H1 would be there anyways. H1 would be there anyways. How do you remove this H1 from the media queries? Think in 2 minutes and then let me know. Yes. Now you have knowledge of CSS completely. Media queries are nothing fancy things. See now what to do. H1. Am I audible? Colon. Before. Content. Mobile landscape. And here mobile portrait. Okay, refresh it. So just keep this h1, just keep this h1 empty. Sorry, just keep this h1 empty. Refresh it. Mobile portrait. Okay, so sorry, here we need to change. we need to worry about this 767. So just make, we have worked with the width also, 767. Let's do this thing. Portrait landscape. Okay, portrait landscape, portrait landscape. See here, I just have removed one condition. Don't worry about the width, because presently you don't know the width exactly, correct? So mobile screen and orientation landscape, but I was expecting this element from you. This is not related to the media query. Pseudo CSS we have studied. So empty h1, adding the content to the h1, adding content to h1. How? Before. Again, yesterday I have shown you this thing. If you go here, where is that? Pseudo elements or pseudo selector. What's the topic? Am I audible? Yeah, CSS3 selectors. Pseudo elements before. The pseudo element is used to insert the content before the content of an element. It is often used for decorative elements, icons, or labels. Actual use. Now I told you this can be achieved in two ways. If you know JavaScript, this can be achieved in three ways. But presently you don't know what is JS exactly. So this can be achieved in two ways only for you right now. Now I am asking you, what's the second way? What's the second way? Think and tell me. So this is what you will get in the interview. If I would be your interviewer, I will give only this much code, or not even h1, and complete the code. For the orientation landscape, I need to see one h1 landscape. If it is portrait, I need to see a message called as portrait. Complete the code. This can be done in two ways. Tell me what is the other way. Which CSS properties you can use?
You can use after as well.
Yeah, that is one and same now. Pseudo elements you have used once, that is okay. Okay, I will give you one hint. Let's have mobile landscape. I will write mobile landscape, and here mobile portrait. So these things would be there. You can't remove these two things. I will comment these two media queries, and now suggest me the media queries. This won't be there. What code you will write in the media query? Think and tell me what code you will write in media query. No, right? Now let's give one ID over here, and we can say MB, or sorry, LND, landscape, ID, PRT. Okay, ID, PRT. So here what you need to do very first thing, hash LND display none. So what is this? Landscape. So here display block we need to do, and hash PRT display none. So here you will do exactly reverse. Here LND would be none, don't show, and just make it enable it block. Go here, refresh it. Can you see landscape, portrait, landscape, portrait? But meaning is different. Now you tell me what is happening over here. We have learned the display property, block and none. If you remember the visibility, the chapter we have learned called as visibility, at that time we have seen this part. What does this mean? Display property. What does this display property mean? You there, team?
Yeah.
What does this display property does? None and block.
It will be visible until we specify.
The visibility, visibility hidden. That will change the visibility. But can you see here? You should consider using the display property with value none. And if you go to the positions or layouts, a display property, block and none. So when you say display none, it will remove the element from memory. It will remove element from memory. That is called as DOM. Once we complete the JS, you will get to know what is a DOM exactly. Document Object Model. Right now you can consider in this way, it removes the element from the memory, HTML. It removes element from what? HTML. Display none. Block means what? It allocates the space for this element. And we have discussed visibility also. How display and visibility are different. When you say visible, element is there. When you say hidden, element is still there. Just it loses the appearance. Just it loses what? Appearance. When you say visibility hidden, element is there. Simply it loses the appearance. But in the case of display, element would be getting removed or added to the memory. Here, element doesn't get added or removed. So if you are appearing for interviews as an experienced developer, you will get this question, difference between visibility and display.
like with respect to the space will be as is, but
Hmm.
section will be
Correct.
or not, it will not be there.
Correct. Got it.
Yeah.
So this is the second way. First way, this. This is the second way. So guys, you need to practice. And I am repeatedly saying this, these are simply notes. This will lead you to the things, but official documentation is important. You need to see the official documentation. Whenever you refer the notes, good, but at the same time you need to open official documentation, and there also you can read. Any questions? Any questions? Hello?
No,
Okay. Now a little bit advanced demo. So CSS3 media queries. CSS3 media queries orientation. Okay. Index 03.html and app 03.css. HTML5 flex and media query. Flex and media query section, we would be having, into that section we would be having main, link rel css, app03.css, html body, width 100 vw, height 100 vh, section width 100%, height 100%. Okay, now you tell me what code shall I write. So my requirement is that, so in a main I have this div, I have this another div. Okay, so let's create a box class, width 20%, height 20%, background color cadet blue. This is also box class, box class box. Just a minute. Now tell me, so on desktop, let's have on desktop I need 4 columns. On mobile I need 2 columns. What code you will write?
Like, are we using like flags here or like red?
Yeah, let me know how you will do it. How you will do that? On desktop I need 4 columns. On mobile 1 2 3 4. On mobile I need 3 columns. Main display flex.
The display column, like, but yeah, there are properties I'm not sure.
Width we can say 30%. Okay, why height is not applying? Section to the main also. Yeah, justify content center, text or font size 2 em. Space between. Yeah, can you see there are 4 columns, and what I need here, if I change, I go to the mobile, it should become 2 columns. On desktop, tablet 3 columns. On the tablet 3 columns, fourth should come over here on tablet. On desktop 4, but on mobile these 2 should fall over here. How do you do that? Homework. Okay, you need to write a media query to make these 2 columns. on mobile, 3 columns on tablet, and 4 columns on desktop. Okay. So this is the homework. You need to complete it tomorrow. So tomorrow we will take example of the grid, and that is the end of your responsive layout. So you got the exact idea what is a responsive layout, right? And what are the media queries?
Yeah,
Yes. Fine. So this is what I have intended for today's session. So actually I was about to implement this, but I want you to do that. Just think.
yeah, let us try.
Yeah. CSS3 flex and flex and flex and what? Media query. Okay. That's all about today's session. Yes. Thank you. I'm